Hello everybody. Today I'm here to talk about the power requirements of our ePro 400 and our ePro 600 electric bedbug heaters. This is an ePro 400. It looks identical to the 600. It's internal that the changes are. The ePro 400 has 6 heating elements and the ePro 600 has 8. I'll show you more close up in a little bit. We'll get into that discussion. But both these models are a 110 power volt system. That means it's the same as your normal house that you can plug a lamp into or a television. Any wall outlet, this can be powered by plugging into those. The difference with our heaters on the ePro series is they take multiple plugs. So let's get into a little bit closer look of that. Okay, now as I was mentioning before, the ePro 400 has 6 heating elements and the ePro 600 has 8 heating elements. And I'm talking about these heating coils that you see inside. That's what I'm pointing to. So there are 6 in this model and 8 in the other. They are all individually powered with its own power cord. Now I'll show you where we plug in. Okay, now I've turned it to its side on the side view, and the side view is the same on both sides. On this model, on the ePro 400, there are 3 power lines here to plug into and 3 on the other side. It's just as simple as any other power cord that you would use. You plug in all 3 on this side and 3 on the other side. The other end is a standard power cord, 3-leg power cord that plugs into your normal household outlets that are 110 volt. This particular power cord has a lighted end to let you know that it's lit up. So you have all 3, so you have 6 of these power cords that are 110 volt each. And just to make a note that the ePro 600, the only difference are there are 4 on each side to make 8 heating coils. Again, they're all powered individually. And you can maybe have one not powered. It's not required that every one of them is plugged in. But our recommendation is 100% plugged in, so you get 100% of the power efficiency. But on an ePro 600, you'll have 4 of these on each side. And now I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about the amperage. Okay, we're back around to talking about the amperage again. So each one of the heating coils are 8 amps each. So on the ePro 400, we have 6 of them. On the ePro 600, we have 8 of them. And that's what I've mentioned before. So with that being said, in your home, typically around the walls of your living room or in a bedroom, the outlets that you use to plug your lamps into are 15 amp circuits. So with one of these, you can only plug in one heating element, one cord at a time. If you plug in 2 cords, well, that would be 8 and that's 16, you will trip the breaker. It's not horrible that you trip the breaker, but you'll have to reset it and it's not something you want to keep doing. In a bathroom or in the kitchen, you might find a 20 amp circuit. So then you can plug in 2 of those. Now we also have an additional accessory to help you with finding power. And it's a very popular item. It's called our power station. The power station is a box, a yellow box that you've seen before on our website. If you haven't, take a look at it. There's an explanation of it and I'll show a picture of it here. But it can tap into an electric stove or an electric clothes dryer. Typically a stove might have, it's a 240 volt system and it has about 50 amps on it. A 240 volt clothes dryer might have 40 amps. But this device takes a 240 volt system and steps it down so we can use 110 volt. Then you can consolidate a few of the power cords in one location and then find the other power along the wall. So that would give you all your power needs. So we do have solutions for that. Okay, the next thing that I want to say is that to how you say, well, how do I know what power I have and I don't really know power? Well, every house, residential normal house or an apartment, has a power service box, or people call it a breaker box. That's located inside. You open the door up and you see a bunch of the large switches. And I'll show you a picture of that. Typically they'll be marked inside the service box, 15 amps or 20 amps or 50 amps. and they'll also be marked as to where they are, like living room, bedroom. Typically that's what they're marked. So you can do that, or you can turn them on and off and find out. But that's one way to find out exactly what power service you have, or the circuits are in your home. Okay, now here is a typical power service box or a breaker box. This particular one's located outside. A lot of them are inside. Now on this one, see how you can see you have 15 amp circuits or a 20 amp circuit. There are also handwritten markings on it. These relate to all the wiring that's inside your home. And that's one way to find out what you have in your walls with the circuits. Okay, to do a final summary of these. This is about the ePro 400 and the ePro 600 of our heat models for bedbug heaters. They are both 110 volt systems. So with that, they each use heating coils that are 8 amps each. In the ePro 400, there are 6 of them. In the ePro 600, there are 8 of them. The heating coils at 8 amps each is a very important point. Just remember that typically found in your house, a lamp is plugged into your bedroom or a living room, those are 15 amps. In a bathroom or in the kitchen, you might find 20 amps. In a 20 amp circuit, you can plug in 2. In a 15 amp circuit, you can plug in 1. I also say don't use the multi-tap devices. And just remember you have 8 amps each. We also have an accessory device called our power station, which I mentioned before. So that's our ePro power requirements on ePro 400 and ePro 600.